Hi again then guys, and so we've got another PP specific circuit setup for you today, and this is a 600 PP tune for a pretty popular GT class machine, the BMW Z4 GT3. Now it needs to be said straight off the bat that although this is a good car, it is categorically not the quickest car that you can get at 600 PP. So this tune isn't to be like the best in the world or anything like that. This is purely for people who like the car and who want to use it at 600 pp. There are quicker cars. The Toyota Hybrid, the Tomica ZZ2 even, various others, can beat this car. So that is to be noted. Now I've gone for racing soft tyres. Obviously that's down to personal preference and they're not really necessary. As far as suspension, we've got the ride height on 55 front and rear, springs on 1550 and 825, the dampers to 4, anti-roll on 3, neutral camber and toe. We'll come back to the gearbox last. As usual for the diff, we've got the initial torque on 20, the highest possible acceleration and braking on 30, and I would probably more than anything else encourage you to mess around with those settings, because I personally like my race cars to have a little bit of understeer. Other people don't though. So I would encourage you to mess around with those settings, all three of them individually, to find out what works best for you, and that goes with any car really. As far as the power, we do have an oil change, but we haven't done either of the power upgrades just to keep it down to 600 pp. We're running the maximum downforce because this is primarily a grip and handling tune rather than a straight line machine, and we're running no ballast at all, and it actually naturally sits with an oil change at 600 pp anyway. Finally, for the gearbox, again, it's not a top speed tune, so we've got an auto setting of 180, then for the individual gears 4250, 2.9, 2150, 1675, 1350 and 1150, with a final drive of 3.1. Now with a 3.1 final drive, that gives you a little bit of room for draft. The car can get up around 180 under its own power, even with the full downforce, and you can probably get it up around, say, 200, maybe 210 in draft. If you don't need that draft, I would recommend increasing that final drive up to, say, 3.2 instead of 3.1, just to close those gears, or closen those gears up a bit. If you do need the draft though, just leave it on 3.1. But that's it overall for the mechanical setup. Now let's take it out to the track, the Nürburgring Ring to be exact, to see how it performs. Now, as I said, this car is categorically not the fastest 600 pp vehicle. It is one of the better ones, but not anywhere near the best. Stuff like the Furai, the Zonda R, the FXX, the Toyota Hybrid can be made to be superior 600 pp vehicles for the Nürburgring at least, but this car does have some significant advantages. For its power, for instance, the top speed is very good even with the full downforce. The handling is, although slightly heavier than some, very good for long distance endurance racing. The handling likes to be punished. The car likes to be thrown into corners. You don't need to be careful with the car. Some racing cars are quite twitchy. If you make a wrong step, it'll immediately spin out. That's not the case with the Z4. You can really throw the car through the corners, lap after lap, even in a really long race, and it will serve you really well. BMW makes very good GT class race cars on GranTurismo. Now, as far as lap times at the 600 pp level, this can get around the track in around 6 minutes and 20 seconds. So it's not slow by any means. It can run up against most 600 pp cars and beat many of them. But, as I said, just be aware that it's not the quickest 600 pp car you can get. But that's it overall for this particular PP build. I'll see you guys next time, and as always, thanks for watching.